Headlines. The escalation and expansion of the war in the region continues with the ongoing exchange of American, Israeli and Iranian air strikes, and sirens are sounding throughout Israel. Dozens are killed and others injured in a series of Israeli raids on southern Lebanon, and Hezbollah announces targeting sites in Israel. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The foreign ministers of the Arab League will hold an emergency meeting tomorrow to discuss Iranian attacks on the territories of some Arab states within the context of the U.S.-Israeli war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The meeting will be held via video conference at the request of several Arab states, including Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Sultanate of Oman, Jordan, and Egypt. Several GCC countries have dealt with further attacks on their territories. Saudi Arabia announced today that it intercepted and destroyed 2 ballistic missiles that were headed towards Prince Sultan Air Base. Kuwait also confirmed that its forces intercepted a missile attack, noting that the interception resulted in some debris falling and causing limited material damage, while no casualties were reported. Bahrain announced that it distinguished a fire at an oil refinery caused by a missile attack, indicating that no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, the Qatari Ministry of Defense announced that its air defenses intercepted a missile attack. Israel and U.S. forces intensified their military strikes in the center and surrounding areas of the Iranian capital, Tehran. Iranian media reported that the strikes targeted Mehrabad airport in Tehran, residential buildings in the center and around the capital, and other locations in Isfahan. In response, Iran launched a series of missiles and drone attacks targeting Israeli sites, including Ben Gurion Airport and an air base in Tel Aviv. Tehran warned Tel Aviv that continued Israeli attacks would be met with further escalation. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a phone conversation with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, urging an immediate end to hostilities in the Middle East, the Kremlin said. During the phone call, Putin expressed condolences over the killing of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, members of his family, and representatives of the country's military and political leadership, as well as the numerous civilians' casualties as a result of the U.S.-Israeli armed aggression against Iran. Putin reaffirmed Russia's principled position that hostilities should cease immediately and that the use of force to resolve issues on Iran and across the Middle East must be abandoned, calling for a swift return to political and diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict, according to the Kremlin. Putin also noted that he has been in constant contact with the leaders of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries regarding the situation. Israeli warplanes launched a series of intense airstrikes at dawn today, targeting several towns in southern and eastern Lebanon, resulting in deaths, injuries, and widespread destruction of homes and property. The Lebanese Ministry of Health announced that the death toll from Israeli airstrikes and clashes in the town of Nabi Chit in the Bekaa Valley has risen to 41. An airstrike this morning in the town of Jabshit, targeting a house, killed 6 people, including 4 members of the same family, after the house was completely destroyed. Israeli warplanes also launched a second airstrike targeting the town square, causing widespread destruction that altered its landscape. Additionally, Israeli aircraft carried out 2 airstrikes on the towns of Shur and Ter Daba in the Tyre districts. Rescue and civil defense teams are continuing their operations in the targeted areas to remove rubble and transport the wounded, amid expectations that the death toll will rise as search operations continue. Back here in the Sultanate of Oman, the latest weather map analysis indicated that the Sultanate of Oman will be affected by a trough of low pressure in the coming days. The Civil Aviation Authority stated that the weather map analysis predict cloud flow and formation over the Musandam Governorate starting next Monday with scattered rainfall of varied intensity, sometimes thunderous, gradually extending over the coming days to include parts of the North Al-Batina, South Al-Batina, Al-Buremi, Al-Zahira and Al-Dakhliya, Muscat and North Al-Sharqiya governorates. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The escalation and expansion of the war in the region continues with the ongoing exchange of American, Israeli and Iranian airstrikes, and sirens are sounding throughout Israel. Dozens are killed and others injured in a series of Israeli raids on southern Lebanon, and Hezbollah announces targeting sites in Israel. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. May Allah accept our prayers and fasting, guide us towards goodness, and bless our world with lasting peace and harmony among all nations. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.